Hello, welcome to this week's vlog. So, I have successfully moved. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw some of my heartache with that. Have a new place now, still within Dublin, so that controversy will rage on as to which Met I belong to. Let's not dwell on that one too long. So in my last video I mentioned that I needed more diversity in my videos. I've come up with a plan, I think. I'm going to steal from Az in that I'm going to do 4 game blocks, so we'll try and alternate between Corp and Runner. So the first of them went up today, or in the past if you're watching it now. The Big Ice Industrial Genomics, kind of cheating things out, cheating the likes of Archer and Janice out by using Heritage Committee and Mutate. So it's an interesting little combination. It's worked well so far, but I mean, they are casual games. That is my next point. There's a debate raging on Reddit about competitive versus casual play on Jinteki.net. I myself have pretty much only gone into the casual games. Now I've been playing Netrunner a long time. I sometimes play the competitive decks, you know, breaking out noise, plan of foods, that kind of thing. But competitive is always that step beyond me, I think. Now, full disclosure, I did end up wandering in there one day, and that was by complete accident. And it was only when I was playing the game I was going, this pace seems really, really quick. What is going on? That I left the game. Turns out I'd been spectating a competitive game, forgot to change lobbies, and ended up in the wrong one. Now I feel I make still some silly errors. I still don't know full interactions, things like that, and I don't always play the most competitive decks. But there was a good point made in the Reddit thread that if you want to get better at Netrunner and you want to essentially get good, you got to play the competitive lobbies. So I think to become a better player, I need to play against people who are better than me. My win rate on casual games has been pretty good, probably a bit misleading. Maybe building up the confidence a bit too much. Need to go into competitive lobbies and bring myself back down to earth, but also see the best of the best kind of thing. Those people who are going out with the better decks, the people who do know their Netrunner game inside and out, they plan ahead, that kind of thing. So, to get better, we're going to play better people. So to combine the two formats, I am going to do 4 game blocks, switching between Corp and Runner. That'll lead out about a week of videos, but I'm going to do 2 in casual lobbies and then see if I can do 2 in competitive, and hopefully won't get my heart broken too much. Not every deck is going to work in competitive games, not every game is going to go well, but you know, we learn by doing, and it's the only way we can get better. So that's what we're all about, that's what this video series is here for. So let's get to it. So I've just finished up playing a couple of casual games on Jinteki.net with the Valencia deck that I was breaking out. Of course, if you're watching this on the Friday, you'll have already seen those games, hopefully. If not, please check out the games. They're also part of the playlist, making it very easy for you. Definitely some mistakes made, but you get an idea of how the deck is supposed to work. You can get an idea of what not to do. And yeah, it's an interesting watch, I hope. It does also raise some issues with the format itself. I mean, 2 games, not really enough to get to grips with a deck and then break it into the competitive games. But hopefully I'll get some practice games in between as well, and we'll see how I fare. Ideally, I should have either done a couple before even breaking the deck out for videos, or in between first and second game, but decided to do a batch of recording. It's not going to be a perfect format. I mean, this is kind of a first iteration of it, so we'll see how it goes. The Valencia deck at least is pre-built. I mean, it was a tournament winning deck a long time ago. A couple of changes made based on what they said they might do when certain cards came out. The Industrial Genomics is more of a homebrew, so that could be more problematic. But at least I'll have made the deck and might be more aware of what's in it. So we'll see. But I mean, let me know what you think of the format, if you like the structured approach, if you like knowing what kind of ideas are going to be broken out, and if you like it being switched up so much as well. So we've good news and bad news. The good news is we've got a lift for the weekend. The bad news is it's early o'clock, and it's with Cork's Owen, the winner of the Dublin Spring Kit. He's a great guy, lovely guy, but pretty much guarantees that there's one less place in the top 8 for the rest of us, one less shot at a mat, but we'll see what we can do. You gotta play the best to be the best. So as I said, I've started this new plan of doing a couple of casual games and then jumping into a competitive lobby. Because of regionals coming up, my practice has to be geared more towards that. So I imagine that the first couple of games on competitive lobbies with decks I haven't played before aren't going to be as good as they could be. But hopefully from here on out we can step it up a bit, get more used to things, get the practice in, and rock it from there. I did go into my first deliberate competitive lobby today. My downfall so far is that I use a trackpad mouse for the most part to play, but because of the pace of the competitive lobby I had to break out the big boy mouse, and yeah, so I'm going to have to do that from now on. The game itself was fine. I got to play against Valencia, so it's good to get that experience. I did make a couple of mistakes, but hopefully I can learn from them. Hopefully the learning experience will pay off and I can avoid making it at more crucial junctions. If you've seen some of my casual games, you'll acknowledge that there are some terrible mistakes in there. Oftentimes I'll talk about the right decision and then won't do it, but live and learn. So all this talk and thoughts about competitive play and upcoming tournaments is playing absolute havoc with my mind. Last night I had this most bizarre dream. I was playing in a tournament and for some reason I had to go outside. I brought the cards that had been in my hand out with me and it was pouring rain, they got soaked, then I also lost them. I don't know, woke up exhausted anyway. If I'm to take anything away from it though, it's to not bring the cards that I'm holding in my hand outside with me. Instead, just lay the 5 of them down and just walk away. But to talk about competitive play for another moment, I've mentioned going into the competitive lobbies on jinteki.net a little in this video, and I have slowly dipped my toes in the water, but with decks that I'm familiar with. So I've been breaking out a corp deck that I've been playing for a while and trying it out. It's a good experience, definitely getting experience against the matchups you'd expect to face in tournaments, and at a pace that's a bit higher than the casual games, we'll say as well. I am going to press ahead with this plan to do 2 casual, 2 competitive. Over the weekend you'll see the second batch of the casual games, I think, with Valencia and... what other deck am I playing? Oh yes, Industrial Genomics. And then next week is the big moment where I get to test them out in the competitive setting. That'll be after regionals. Maybe I'll get some games in on Sunday just to practice and perfect the decision making process, because if you've seen the first game with the Valencia one especially, there was a lot of very shaky decision making and things I could have done much better. So I mean, it's all a learning experience, you know, we'll get used to it and hopefully refine play over time and build a bit of experience with it. At least I'm seeing the strengths and weaknesses of the deck, where it can go right, where it can go wrong, how you can stop it, what you should do against it, and see what better players are doing against it basically. But that's it for this week. I hope you all enjoyed the vlog. Thank you very much for watching. This weekend is the Irish Regionals, the first of it. We're going up north, bright and early start in the morning, so that's something to look forward to. That's probably not the right word, but it should be a good day out once we get on the road and up there. Looking forward to it now, and I will of course keep you all updated and I'll fill you all in on Tuesday, show you how it went. Alright, thanks guys.